Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I am working with the Spellbinders April 2019 small die set of the month, and this has some really beautiful layered flowers in it. So I'm going to start off here by showing you how I've layered all the different flowers and leaves together. And I'll let you know the colors that I've used for my cardstock. I'm using from MFT Pure Plum, Tropical Teal, Snow Cone, and Razzleberry. And from Paper Tray Ink, Plum Pudding, Autumn Rose, New Leaf, Green Parakeet, Hawaiian Shores, Pale Peony, Sweet Blush, Lemon Tart, and Harvest Gold. So I'm just using my art glitter glue here and layering all of these little details together. So here for card number 1, I've got a panel of MFT's whipped cream cardstock, and I've trimmed that down to 4x5 1/4. Gone ahead and laid out one of my large flowers as well as one of the buds and some leaves. I'm going to go ahead and glue these down here, again using my art glitter glue. So once I've got everything in place, I'm going to stamp out my greeting. I'm using a couple Simon Says stamp sets here. The first one is handwritten Floral Greetings, and I'm going to use that for all of the outsides of my cards. This one reads, "Thank you for thinking of me." And then on the inside, I'm using some of the smaller sentiments from the Kind Flowers stamp set. So the inside here is going to read, "You have a kind heart." I'm stamping both of those using my VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And for the inside, I'm also stamping on a panel of whipped cream cardstock trimmed to 4x5 1/4. And here I'm going to add one more set of the leaves as well as another bud to give that inside a little bit something extra. I went ahead and popped up my front panel using some foam tape. This is 2 millimeters thick. It's left over from the Hero Arts kit that I just finished. And I'll go ahead here and peel away that backing and place it down on top of my card base. Now here at this point I noticed that the stem for my bud was not going off the edge, and honestly it probably would have been fine like that, but it really bothered me for some reason. So the way that I fixed it was I ended up grabbing another one of the sort of bud leaves, and I'm going to use the other end of it. So I added a little dot of glue, I'm going to place that down, and then I will just trim off the excess. I'll go ahead here and add some ATG to the back of that and then place that on the inside of my card base. And that will complete card number 1. So here for card number 2, I'm again on a panel trimmed from whipped cream cardstock that measures 4 by 5 1/4. And I thought I'd stamp out my sentiment first this time. So I'm going with a note to say hello. That is again from the handwritten Floral Greetings. And then I wanted to create a bouquet. So I have for the most part laid this out so I know where I want everything to go, but as you know, it never stays exactly the same. So I'm adding 3 of these daisies and then 3 of the white flowers and adding in some leaves around that to fill in with greenery. And once I'm happy with everything, I will go ahead and place that down with my art glitter glue. For the inside, I'm going to stamp out the sentiment, "Kind of adore you a lot." And then I'll add a few more flowers in the bottom corner, adding one of the blue daisies and one of the white flowers and a few leaves. One thing I do notice when I'm working with these layered flowers, they're a lot thicker than they look. So I had originally planned to put that white flower sort of overlapping the blue one, and then as I laid everything out, I thought it's going to be way too thick when I try and close the card. So I ended up moving that over just to the left just slightly so that it was overlapping really only on one layer. I was originally planning to place that on a pink card base, but then when I decided to use the second blue flower on the inside, I switched this around a little bit. I'm going to add some ATG to the back of both these panels, and I'll go ahead and place them down on my card base. And that will complete card number 2. For card number 3, I again started by stamping out my sentiment first, and for this one I'm using "Sending Comforting Hugs." I have that stamped in the middle and just slightly higher than right in the center. Next, I'm going to lay out all my flowers. I have left the process of how I placed everything together, placing things down, pulling them off. I know a lot of you like to watch that sort of full process as I'm thinking through things. So basically I wanted a little at the top, a little at the bottom, but I also wanted to make sure to keep enough white space. So it ends up sort of being a diagonal across the center of the card by the time that it's finished. Of course, once I have everything where I'd like it to be, I'm gonna, as carefully as I can, add some glue to the back of each of the pieces and place those back down. I find when I'm doing layered things like this, it's easiest to work from the back to the front. So I'll try to do that greenery there first and slide that underneath the pieces without moving them too much, and then go ahead and lift up the top pieces and place those down. So as I'm gluing everything down here, I lost a little bit of footage from the inside, so I thought I will go ahead and just talk you through that. I again used the same whipped cream cardstock trimmed to 4x5 1/4, and I stamped out the sentiment, "Be courageous and kind," and then underneath that I glued one of the pink rosebuds. So there you can see I went ahead and added some ATG to the back of my front panel, as well as to the back of my inside panel, and I placed both of those down on that pink card base. And that will complete card number 3. Here are a few close-ups of the finished cards. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.